Hello and welcome. I'm Kalyani Mali from Kanal Media. It is a pleasure to welcome you all to this important interaction. We also extend a warm welcome to Mr. Prem Makker, General Secretary of Indian National Bank Officers Congress, which is a part of United Forum of Bank Unions. Thank you, sir, for joining us today. Today, we are discussing two key issues impacting bank employees across the country: the long pending demand for a 5-day banking week and concerns around the revised PLI scheme. We will also take a closer look at the ground level challenges being faced by bank officers. To begin with, sir, could you please introduce yourself to our audience?
All right. I am Prem Makker. I'm the General Secretary of Indian National Bank Officers Congress. I'm also General Secretary of All India Bank of Baroda Officers Association, which is the majority officers association in Bank of Baroda with around 30,000 members. And also I'm holding some positions at international organizations and some trade union federations at our country and abroad.
Let's begin with the issue of 5-day banking, which has been a long standing demand for bank employees. Sir, the demand for a 5-day banking week has been there for quite some time. Could you briefly explain why this demand is important for employees?
Wow. I think this demand is a very, very old demand of ours. We demanded, and ultimately in 2015, government decided, okay, we will give you 2 days off, second and fourth Saturday, and we will take some more time to decide. And now 11 years having passed, government is still not deciding on that. That is really upsetting the people, because there is so much of burnout. There is definitely hit on the work-life balance of the officers. These youngsters which have been coming now, they are not ready to take it now anymore. So this demand is important, and while we negotiated with the government in the form of IB represent Government of India, the banks also. Sometimes they represent Government of India also because ultimately they take call from Government of India also. They agreed. Yes, this time we will implement these 2 days. But approval is not coming. That we are upset with the approval not coming. There is undue delay. That is really bothering all the banking professionals. So I think we need to ask the government why they are not doing it. We are really upset. And to compensate that 2 days, we have already provided that we'll be working 40 minutes extra every day. So that at least customers, their working hours don't suffer. That is what we could do, and we have done. Even having agreed, now government is not delivering that approval. This is something really bothering us.
Do you think that the government is intentionally doing this?
Obviously,
The
we cannot say this government is that inefficient. They are taking a conscious call on this, and there is no reason. Although all they themselves are working on 5 days, all the big corporations working, whole world is working 5 days. When there is a demand of working on 4 days, it is a time that we are demanding only 5 days. Huh? That is really ridiculous that they are not agreeing, because it is all hypocrisy. I feel they themselves are working, all their ministries are working 5 days, but they are not giving it to us. They don't give us any reason also.
moving ahead, despite a nationwide protest by UFBU, there is still no clear timeline for 5-day banking. What is what do you think? What is causing this delay from the government side?
I don't know the reasons for delay. I think maybe power is centralized. People down the line, they are not deciding on that. At least I won't like to comment about the working of the government. But this is certain that they are not taking a decision. And we have been trying to draw their attention through strikes, but still they are not moving. And now UFBU again has to meet. And again, we will take a call on that. What further? With us,
Okay,
the
sir.
only option is agitation programs. We have waited enough. For 2 years, we have been waiting after the settlement.
So after the recent strike, there seems to be a relative silence from UFB on the issue of 5-day banking. Should bank employees accept any movement or update on this demand? in the
No, it is not
near
that we are
future?
silent. Incidentally, as soon as this issue of 5 days we went on strike, there was a proposal of UFBU which was under consideration of the government. They derailed that proposal. They immediately decided that old scheme of PLI will be implemented, new school bullet will be implemented. So our attention basically shifted from 5 days to PLI immediately. That is the only thing. Other it is that we have drifted away from the demand or we are not giving attention. So we have to now take a holistic view on all the issues. It is only not only 5 days, it is about many other issues, including PLI, on which we need to focus, and UABU will be deciding the course of action on that.
How do you see inbox role in UFBU-led movement, like crucial issues like 5-day banking week or PLI?
Well, INBOC is again one of the constituents. I think UABU, the purpose is that we all go together. INBOC, as such, separately, we are not moving forward. We are, as a UABU constituent, we are contributing there, and along with the UABU calls we are giving.
Let's now shift the focus to another important issue, that is the PLI scheme. For viewers who may not be fully aware, could you briefly explain what the PLI scheme is?
Well, PLI basically scheme, it was introduced in 2020. Although we had not demanded, but government insisted, yes, we need to pay you PLI. All right, we said welcome, but we will not provide that front from our wage settlement bill. Government said okay. Two conditions were met. One was this. Second, the demand from the government at that time through IBA was that we take PLI on individual performance basis. We know the performance metrics, the performance system, evaluation system in the banks are really still not that mature. So we decided that, okay, we will accept PLI only on one condition, that PLI will be paid on the performance of the bank. Just as, a cricket team means, incentive is given to the scheme, they divide. This is how we did it. Bank is doing well. So from 5 days, 10 days, 15 days, depending on the performance of the bank, PLI was being paid up to 15 days. 15 days was the maximum. It was going on okay. From sub-staff to general manager, all these positions were getting the similar kind of PLI according to their basic. Suppose higher basic, they will definitely get more PLI. This is what arrangement was going on. But now suddenly, as a shock to all of us, government brought in the new scheme. The new scheme they brought in, and that scheme, it was not for all. It basically intended to cover scale 4 officers and above. We had objections for various reasons. One is a settlement which was done bilaterally. You should not go beyond that. Number two, earlier it was bank-wise settlement. This new scheme, it basically focused on individual performance. Individuals are also divided, scale 4 divided in 5 categories. Some people will get 0, some people will get 20% of the PLI, 40%, 60%, 80%, 100%. Those bifurcations again are bothering us. So we protested against that. Because this is not only, that a different, there are set of peoples, up to scale 3 and above. Again, this is earlier they were working in a team. Now there is clear-cut divide. That divide, we say that it is not in the interest of the banks. There will be a lot of disruptions, and that amount is also disproportionate. Here you are paying somebody at 15%. Here you are paying somebody for the full year. That difference is very, very disproportionate. When we do our wage settlement, we normally take care. Suppose somebody at one particular cadre up to scale 3, we are paying 15% increase or 17% increase. We see it with the executive higher cadre, they are given little more because that is not impacting our wage bill too much. So we are taking that relatively they must be paid better. Here also it could be little better for all that. Anyway, they negotiated with us. We gave a agitation call, strike call. They called us. Discussion was going on. So ultimately, government, Chief Labor Commissioner, where we were holding discussion, okay, put it on hold, have some discussion. We discussed, gave some new proposal. But despite CLC saying there is a status quo, government went ahead, paid the old pension up to scale 3. then again intended to pay the new pension to scale 4 and above. In the meanwhile, three organization of UFBU, they went for a court case. And although judge did not give any stay order, but the kind of judgment, if you read, it says all right, they are seeking more information. I don't think bank will be paying, and it will be kept. And in the meanwhile, we are looking at government to again study our proposal, whatever we gave with after discussions with IBA. Even scale 4 and 5 officers, I must tell you, this is an attempt by the government to really pay them different wages, maybe less. Today, they are talking about PLI based on your performance. Tomorrow, they are going to talk about fixed wages and variable wages, fixed pay, variable pay. They have been trying for almost three settlement that will have fixed pay, variable pay. So at this section, they must be careful that they will be they were part of the settlement. They may not be part of the settlement in future if we allow them to succeed in this. So we are looking forward for support from all those executives also.
As you said, there are concerns that the new PLI scheme could create difference among bank employees. How serious is this issue, and like how it is going to impact the ground level?
Look, 90% of the people, branches, 90% of the people are being run by up to scale 3 officers. And you are talking about paying big amount of earlier the PLI was total very very small amount of the total wage bill. Now this part, although it was we were not taking from the wage bill, but still that was a smaller portion. Now the amount is big. We really wanted it proper distribution amongst different scale. So we gave our proposal, what, how, and what can be done. Otherwise, definitely because of discrimination, there will be a lot of resentment. You have seen the kind of response people gave us when we gave a call for this. People are really upset. They were not upset till they were getting 15 because everybody is getting 15. But if you give particular section, you could try to create that divide. Then instead of having a feeling I'm working for the bank, the kind of feeling is developing now. I'll be working for some individuals, who will be getting higher PLI because of pressure from them. I'll be working. Feeling is coming in the mind of the people. So therefore, government must really very seriously think about it. It is not that easy. Industrial relations in the banks are going to definitely. I can see that there will be a lot of difficulty for the banks to run.
So, what is the stand of UFB on the UFBU on this issue going forward? And if the concerns are not being addressed, what could be the next step from the unions?
Look, our UFBU, all organizations, we are for negotiation. We always believe in negotiation. I think there can be, it has been proven, in the past that we have had enough of patience. It is leadership. Our people at the ground, they are forcing us now go for it. But still, we are telling them, okay, let us try to negotiate rather than disrupting the working of the bank, which are our own, which are basically giving us bread and butter. So we are trying from our level that government must have faith and have faith in the bilateralism and negotiate with that. But it is very, very unfortunate that government is drifting away from this path. They are bringing in unilateral PLI also. They are taking a decision 5 days also. So a course of agitation and course of confrontation, I can see is the way forward. Still, we are finding ways and means. We do not want, we started the program of uh, not extending extra cooperation by leaving in time, leaving WhatsApp group, whatever we could do. But again, passage closing was there, that audit was there, some statutory things were there, then program gets diluted a little bit. It is definitely at most of the places still being implemented. Again, UFBU has to sit and take a call how we can really make government realize that this is important. Mainly it is to open the eyes of the government.
Do these developments indicate a growing trust gap between unions and the government?
Unions are and managements are unions versus government. That gap would always be there. Whenever we see anything wrongdoing, we will protest. That has to be there. They would see one aspect, we will see the other aspect. We have to protect the right of the people. We have to protect the dignity of the people. So that difference has to be there. Although We try to reconcile with those differences. We make understand that is possible only when they sit with us. But if they are not sitting with us, they are deciding their own agendas by sitting in their offices. That is not acceptable. So they must come to the discussion tables and discuss with us so that we understand their point of view. We and make our they should understand our point of view. We should also understand what is the hitch in government giving us 5 days. What is the hitch in implementing PLI in a proper way after discussions with us?
Between 5-day banking and the PLI issue, which is the most urgent right now?
Both issues are equally urgent. 5 days we have been struggling for that land. PLI is a new onslaught on banking personnel. So both issues are really very, very critical and very important for us.
What message would you like to give to the bank employees who are waiting for clarity on both like 5-day banking and PLI?
I think they should have faith in the UFBU leadership. UFBU leader, we meet often. We talk about and we need to plan out another strategy. If a strike is not impacting the government, what else? What other measures we need to take? So we'll be working on that. So they must have patience, although they have had enough patience, I know. And I really appreciate the patience our bank employees have. But we need to really find out more ways to deal with such a rigid government, which is really not coming in terms with very, very genuine demand of ours.
What is the roadmap from here going forward, like negotiation, agitation, or explanation?
Well, our definitely priority would be negotiation only. But if government is not willing to negotiate, IB is not willing to negotiate, then the only path left is agitation. But there are different ways of agitation. How we agitate. Our people's mind are agitated. They can react in different forms. We have been providing them lead. Yes, right now it will do like this. Like now, you simply wear black badges. Right now, go out, shout at the streets. Okay, now stop giving extra cooperation to the banks. People have been sitting in offices up to 8 o'clock. We gave a call. All right, leave those WhatsApp groups. So all these things, different ways. Maybe we may have to devise more ways or continue with the renewed program for such non-cooperation movements.
Let's now come to the some ground level challenges. So, how do you see playing a role in addressing issues like transfers, promotions, staff shortage, and work pressure?
I think one of the most important area is about staff shortage. It has been happening in all the banks. There were bank mergers in 2019. So maybe all banks said now we will be consolidating some of the branches. So they did not recruit people. Later on, digitalization, the digital aspect, they saw that, okay, with so much of digitalization, whether we'll be needing so much people, whether they should hire. In private sector, they have a policy of hire and fire. In public sector, we don't. So whenever a person is recruited, appointed, then it is thought he'll be working here for 25, 30, 35 years in the banks. So whether recruit for that long, that has been a question mark. But somehow, again, now expansion plans have started. It has, after a lot of thinking, it has come that we need brick and mortar branches. We have to grow our economy. So the role of banking is so important and critical. So we must not simply rely on digital means of banking. So recruitment was not happening. We took up at the industry with through UFBU and ultimately in the last 7, 8 meetings, Chief Labor Commissioner called all the general manager HM. They gave different plans, and now recruitment is taking. But still, we are expecting government to really look into have some uniform policy for all the banks. Some banks they are going okay, a good recruitment they are making. Some banks they are really not doing it. So I think we'll be seeking the help of government also to have a uniform, like they did in some having some uniformity in different transfer policies of various banks. They give new guidelines, all right, what should be the approach, whether we are posting people nearby in the same linguistic areas, women are taken care of, all those aspects they gave in the new guideline. So government came out, and that was a welcome step. We appreciated the role of government in giving that transfer policy, uniform transfer policy. And the recruitment is one area. Because of that only, work-life balance is disturbed. There is no people have extended working hour there. People have to sit late in offices. They are called sometime on holidays also. The root cause is definitely shortage of staff. So that aspect to be first figured out. After that, another two issues, 5 days and PLI, then other small issues are there.
Okay, sir. Moving ahead, INBOC has a strong presence among officers in Bank of Baroda. What are the key issues being raised at the ground level?
No, I think as in other banks, we have the similar kind of issues that staff shortage is bothering us. So that is number one issue. And we have persuaded the bank. They have recruited around 5,000 people in the last 1 year. But there is a lot of iteration also. So that issue we are struggling. That is number one issue. Because of that only, people are required to sit late or come on holidays, or all those problems are there. They are not able to get their due leave. They are not able to get leave even for important occasions. Those things are coming, and with the recruitment, I think things will be better. In Bank of Baroda, as such, there are no major issues. This particular bank, we have a good management, and they have been taking care. We have a structured format where we sit with the top management every 6 months, including MD, ED, all the general manager, HR, CGM, HR, all the people are there. We negotiate various service condition, various work conditions. We talk to them, they understand, and they implement. We are having no major issue in Bank of Baroda, um, except that recruitment part that now they are putting a lot of focus on.
Okay, sir. In recent times, what kind of feedback are you receiving from officers regarding their day-to-day working conditions?
Yes, working conditions is really, I would say, only pathetic. People really are not able to enjoy their family life. They are sitting in offices for undue delayed working hours are there, undue late time they are sitting. That is one thing which is bothering them. Yes, work pressure is there. Work pressure is still they can handle, but sometimes certain functionaries they will give unrealistic targets. They would give targets for mm, some third party products also. All those, because sometimes because of those unrealistic target, people they enter into doing some unethical shortcut methods also, where the compliance system suffers. So that is one thing which is bothering us, that people must get sufficient time. Recruitment is one important thing that is really not the panacea though, but at the same time, change of culture in various public sector bank is also needed. People must be given proper time, and all those campaigns, etc. Those there should be proper campaign calendars for that. So all these important requirements must be met so that people feel comfortable in banking.
As you mentioned now, there have been concerns around increasing pressure related to the third-party product sales. What are the officers actually facing on the ground?
Government has advised RBI, and through RBI all the banks, that there should not be mis-selling. Yes, mis-selling has been rampant in all these banks. So now there is going to be a little bit check on that. Earlier, they stopped incentivizing uh, the sale of products. Earlier, they were giving some foreign trips to the functionaries who were managing the regions, zones. Later on, some Apple phones, all those things were happening. But RBI stopped that. Later now, government has realized that there is need to check on that. We must focus on our core banking. That is what FM call is. I think with that call, things will improve. Otherwise, in the past, it has been definitely a very bad situation in the banks. More focus on sometimes third party sales than the focusing on our core banking operations, and for which even we had not provided sufficient manpower. I hope there is a lot of change in that.
Sir, employees report that workload remains high even after the March year-end pressure, with long
Mhm.
working hours during the audit session, sometimes late into the night. Women bankers have also raised safety concerns regarding this. So, how is the union addressing this issue?
We right now, I must tell you, even at this time, UFBU call not to give that extra cooperation still continues. People can leave after reasonable extra time, maybe after 6. We are definitely, if necessary, we can help them. If they are harassed, we can go to different forums to seek help for them. But at the same time, this is not going to ease. That pressure will be easing only after recruitment. And it is to be done at the individual bank level also. It is not simply UAB has panacea for everything. Individual banks also, there are unions, organized unions in the various geographies, state-wise associations, federations are there. It is not uniformly. Suppose in Bank of Baroda, it is not uniformly that all 148 regions are putting the same kind of pressure. 148, all the regions pressure is same. In different regions, depending on the geography, depending on the work pressure, depending on the business, depending on the individuals who are managing that. So that local level people, local level leaders at the regions, at the units, they have to take care of that. And we must see to it that officers are not put to undue pressure. Where there is a need, we can always give a call to disconnect or leave in time. That call is already going on from UFPU. Then we'll have to take a serious call on this particular issue.
As a final question, like what steps can officers expect from Indian National Bank Congress Officers Congress to address this uh, ongoing ground level challenges?
INBOC, again, I told you, INBOC as a standalone organization, we are not doing anything. We are also part of UFBU. As long as UFBU functions properly, and it is functioning quite properly, so we'll be definitely joining them and having some all the uh, planning all the different ways and means how to address the problems of the officers, and also how to take on with the government through various programs, how to get our main demands achieved, whether it is 5 days PLI or having sufficient recruitment at all different levels so that life of our officers improves.
Okay, sir. As a concluding part, would you like to share a small message with the employees?
Well, employees, I think there are two very important aspects I would like to give a message. On one side is whether it is UFBU or the trade unions at the different levels, and managements also. Management at different level, it is not that there are similar kind of management everywhere. There are aberrations definitely, but at the same time, everybody wants for the banks to grow. And we also want that our share in public sector is retained vis-a-vis private sector. It should not shift over. We are giving extra time, we are giving extra effort. And as UFBU or as trade union leaders in different banks, we are constantly in touch with the people who matter in the banks, where the top management of the bank, at IBA level, Government of India level, we have been making our sincere efforts to be in touch with them. But if need be, they should be ready to fight for their cause, fight for their rightful entitlement, fight for their life, because as such work-life balance is very, very important. They are not able to, they are giving everything to the bank, but they are not giving any time to their personal lives, to personal families. So they will have to remain ready for that fight, and we will provide them the lead. But sometimes the employees say, okay, go for disruptions, total indefinite strike, which is not feasible. It has not happened in the past. With the blue-collared workers, we cannot go ahead like this. But we have been trying our best to negotiate. If no results are coming, then they know our plan. Now we are trying to devise new ways and means how to really take on with this government, which is really behaving in an autocratic fashion as far as such issues are concerned.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your valuable insights with us. The issues around FIDE banking, the PLI scheme, and the ground level challenges faced by bank officers remain extremely important, and employees across the country will be closely watching how things move forward. We appreciate your valuable time and perspective. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, miss.